What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Flamesword, and I don't know if you know, but at the end of 2021, your boy did something pretty big. And not only did I do something big, I got the blessings from the Don himself, the El Jefe, Mr. Optic Hex. So super excited. If you have not heard, December 14th of 2021, I officially announced that I started an esports organization called Status Quo. We did an article on Dixerto. There's a bunch of information in there for those that are looking for that info. If you have not read the article, definitely go do that. It will be in the description below. The article basically talks about why I started an esports organization. Halo Infinite did come out. It is a 10-year life cycle. It's supposed to have a 10-year life cycle to the game, right? There are supposed to be things coming out for the next 9 years now, or I guess we're still in year one. Year one hasn't completed, so yeah, 9 and change still to come. And my passion for Halo has always been the same. And when I joined Optic, the first thing I wanted to do after they removed the Call of Duty coaches was literally create a Halo team, and Hex let me do so. Absolutely loved it. Had great placings. Played all the way until Halo 5, until just started not enjoying the game as much. Didn't feel like Halo 5 was Halo to me specifically, so I just lost interest in it. And at the end of the day, we ended up creating that super dominant Optic team that ended up taking those championships home. You know what I'm saying? Snakebite, Frosty, Royal 2, Lethal. They absolutely just dominated it and held it down for the green wall. But moving forward to Halo Infinite, now I am out there looking for people to team with. Basically, initially I was a duo with Nikoski, aka Shelly. He played a bunch of MCC. I believe that is the only real Halo he actually competed in. I believe he played a little bit of Halo 5, but it was towards the end or towards the middle and didn't really take it seriously. So had him as a duo, and then was looking around for people, and ended up coming before Burton, Nemesis, and who was the other one? Nebula, who were looking for one because one of their players ended up having work during the Raleigh tournament, or was going to have work during the Raleigh tournament, so they were looking for people. And I almost ended up teaming with those, but at the same time, I really wanted to team with Blaze and Reliable. Those were two people that I was really owned in on wanting to team with, and I kind of fast forwarded there, but those were two people I wanted to team with, Nikoski. And I started talking to a couple esports orgs, and then some things, personal things just came up that since I knew I was going to start an esports org, but my team still wanted me to listen to other people just in case there was a better offer for them as individuals. I got into these conversations with people, and I started hearing some stuff that with the that first initial team, me, Nikoski, Blaze, and Reliable, questions that me as an esports org just started asking myself, and being new into this scene, or in this position, I should say, just had me questioning my critical mind even more, being like, wait, is this right? Should I be on the lookout for this? Is this something I could just completely let go, don't even care about it? But because I was asking all these questions, I was like, no, maybe there is something important to be aware of the situation, and just understand that, Michael. And then moving forward, really wanted this squad, but what ended up happening was Nikoski, as he was coming to the US, or planning to come to the US before the Canadian mandate of closing the border at the start of November, I believe it was, for a month or whatever it may have been, ended up before that ended up going into place. He tried to come to the States. He ended up going to the airport, and then as soon as he looks at his passport, he sees that it is 2 years expired. So that is how I ended up not teaming with Nikoski. Shelly, he was going to be on the squad 100%. I think he was one of those players, he played MCC a bit. Like I said, he played Halo 5, but he had great success in MCC. And it was just really his first time in competition or within the scene. So for the placings that he got, that I saw on his stat board, to me it was like, all right, man, he has a future. He's still progressing, and he's got so much more room to progress. So that roster ends up canceling out. So I start working with Blaze and Reliable. We kind of get into the mix of fourths and stuff. I end up going to go do my own thing, because then the Burton, Nemesis, Nebula team that they were also with ended up changing a bit, or Burton wasn't picked up by Nebula and Nemesis, so Burton went to Blaze and Reliable, and then I was with them for a second, but then they wanted Piles back, who they were initially with, and then it became like this crisscross, apple zigzag, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but the crazy shit happened, that the crazy stuff that you see in most esports, in the, I should say, like, amateur scene when you're first building that team. And ultimately ended up being Burton and Blaze hit me back up. They were like, let's do something. So it was myself, Burton, and Blaze Then we started running with a bunch of fours. Saw Frag Out was playing Halo. I knew about Frag Out from Rogue Company when I was competing in Rogue Company. It was the first time I've ever competed in a game that was like strictly S&D. I wanted to always learn S&D, and so when that game came out, a couple of my buddies hit me up just to play for fun, and they were good at it, or they understood the mechanics and the flow of Search and Destroy way more than I did, because I enjoy watching it, but I never really got playing it. And that is where I learned about Frag, just seeing him dominate Rogue Company tournaments. My man had like 100 gold trophies online from there, since obviously COVID-19, all tournaments were online for the past 2-3 years, and most of them still are. But I knew about the guy. I knew the dude could snipe. I knew the dude had gun skills, so it was just all about figuring out that Halo intuition, or that Halo flow, right? Making sure you get you understand Halo as best as you can. And so we played with him, we played with Persecute, and I believe we even played with Avenue as potential people that we wanted for the team as our fourth. And at the end of the day, we ended up going a Frag Out of all three of them, because we felt Frag Out communicated the most, and just like the other two, had incredible gun skill. Now the other two had more experience in Halo, but to me, I've always been that person that I feel like I have a pretty keen eye on finding talent, and when my eye locks in on that, I kind of want to own in on it, if that makes any sense, and develop it to the best that I can, because I mean, there's a reason I see the potential there, right? And as we saw at Raleigh, he ended up being the Astro HCS breakout player, so your boy Flamesword has an eye for this stuff. But alongside that, another cool thing we ended up coming up was with the day before Raleigh, we dropped our team announcement video, which consisted of, like I said, myself, Burton, Blaze, and Frag Out. And if you guys haven't seen that video, definitely check it out right now.
Status Quo takes home the championship here in Dallas, Texas. Woo! Status Quo, I have some chills. Now, though, we are watching the captain, Flamesword. He has been in the league for so long.
We literally dropped this video the day before the tournament, and I don't think it could have gone any smoother than it did. Y'all killed it. We had over 100,000 views on the video day one on Twitter. It was only posted on Twitter. The community absolutely loved it. Halo was so happy to see Status Quo, and for those that are new, Status Quo was a team I started back in 2008, just as a team, not an esports org or anything like that, just 18-year-old Flamesword out competing, having fun, having to create a team name on the website and create something so we could go by, and then players could be underneath it to invite them to. So my buddy helped me come up with the name back in 2008. Ended up making a roster, probably had a total of like 3 rosters before that third roster, where ended up sticking with them for 2-something years. With all of them, we ended up winning 1 championship together, and then with another one, I ended up winning 2 more, for me totaling out with 3 total championships underneath the Status Quo name. Now, as I was saying, the community loved it so much because we are such a nostalgic legacy name. Not as crazy as Final Boss, right? Final Boss, Carbon, those names go way back. That's like Halo 2 days, that if you've been playing, or even Halo 1, if you've been playing from the beginning, like those are names that you just know. STK, Shoot to Kill, like these are names you just know if you are within the Halo community, if you have been a part of the Halo community since the beginning. If you've been here recently, or if you just joined recently, then you might not know so much about them, but I believe there are a couple historians out there within the Halo community that could help you out. But back to ours, Status Quo started in 2008 with Halo 3, went all the way out until Halo 4, and then obviously the game basically died down, ended up joining Optic, and then all that stuff happened. But we were basically known as your average Joes, right? We were just a bunch of people that you kind of almost look like as an average Joe, but we came together and we did the damn thing, and we played really, really well. And then obviously we ended up becoming more than average Joes. You had Enable, multi-FPS champion, Ace, who won the Halo Global Championship, Assault, who went to, you know, teaming with Snipe Down after our team ended up going some different routes where it was only me and Enable, Ace, and Assault part of the ways. But he went on to teaming with people like Maniac, Formal, Snipe Down, all greats, you know what I mean? Like, everyone did something more than the average Joe in that sense of how we started. So absolutely loved the love that we got for dropping the video. The community, again, like I said, just absolutely loved the whole thing. And to me, as I said in my AMA the other day, I don't feel like I'm ever going to be the star again, or I don't want to be the star. I want to be this, you know, observer, this facilitator to allow this team that I end up, you know, forming, this organization that I end up developing, that everyone that comes underneath the umbrella are the real stars. They are the ones that everything I've learned from Hex, Nadeshot, Big T, Bose, my people over at Red Bull and High Level Management, Turtle Wax, Turtle Beach, Astro, YouTube, Twitch, all the people that I've met throughout my whole life that have somehow given me some sort of information that would help me succeed, to help me do this esports organization. It's just all there, and I just want to really facilitate this for the people that will be underneath the umbrella. So again, we are in the beginning stages, and with those beginning stages getting so much love from the team announcement video after the tournament, we ended up placing top 16, which was great, you know. I'm sure we wanted to have a better placement, but for our first tournament, you know, me being the 30-year young gamer that everyone knows that I am, a lot older than all the other players, still in there, still handing out the sauce and placing top 16, a pro status for our first tournament. So it was absolutely incredible. And like I said, Frag Out win the HCS Astro Breakout Player of the event. So absolutely incredible stuff for Status Quo. Love from the community, a great placing to start our year, a Breakout Player Award, just absolutely phenomenal stuff. And then on top of that, right after Raleigh, during Raleigh, I actually recorded a video with a content creator, which was the next step for Status Quo, right? We got the Halo team, right? That's by far the #1 most passionate thing I have passion about, and I'll be playing until, you know, your boy's like, all right, it's no more playtime for your boy. It's time to, you know, give the reins to one more person, and then that would be the team that would represent Status Quo on the Halo side, and I would go do all operational business things that I'd have to do. Still doing stuff, but I have a partner which is allowing me to play. So I want to give it a year or two of as much effort as I possibly can playing Halo before I ever do such a thing. But as I was saying, love for the community, great placing, breakout player. This is an esports organization, so there's more than just teams. I ended up recording a video to announce our first content creator, and if you haven't seen that, definitely check that out now.
Oh, I need to boost up my shield, Spartans. That's what I'm talking about. I gotta pulse the muscles at 117%. Getting that trigger finger ready, Spartans. Getting that reload finger ready. Feel that burn. Get that mental focus ready for the battlefield at all times. Never take no for an answer. What? Who took my helmet? Where is it? Where's my helmet? Who was it? The Banished? The Flood? The Prometheans? The Covenant? Where are they? 3-time champion, Halo legend, Flamesword himself?
How did you know?
I mean, bro, come on, right here. Yeah. It's an honor to see you, Spartan. But I must ask, what are you doing here? And why did you take my helmet?
I think this belongs to you.
That's affirmative.
Spartan, we got a new mission for you. It's classified. Your eyes only. Talk soon.
Let's get it going! We are the Spartan Army!
Booyah! Let's go! We making this super official. A Halo team, a content creator. What else do we have for 2022? Now, 2022 I think is going to be a little bit of an easier year, to be honest with you, or a more relaxed year, as this is year one of status quo, really, right? December 14, 2022 will mark year one in the books. But I think we're going to be a little bit more relaxed, and now we do have things, or I guess we have like two things, but I will mention what we need moving forward. But now that we have, you know, those two I guess we'll call them entities for now, those two players, the team, the content creator. I myself obviously am creating content right now. We're just kind of getting like a Q&A type of video set. The first video was an AMA. This video is also just to inform, or I should say an informative video, just in case you guys haven't seen any of this stuff. But moving forward, right, like in 2023, definitely want to expand into future esport titles, or more esports, not more esports, but more titles within the esports scene. And that is kind of the plan, right? 2022, we got everything that we need, and now we just need to, you know, develop that foundation. And then in 2023, you know, we'll see where we're at, and if we can make the plunge into a different game, you best believe your boy wants to do that. But to present day, right? It is February 4th. What we just had happen the past weekend was an HCS, the Halo Championship Series, for those who don't know the abbreviation, a North America Anaheim HCS qualifier. Now, the top 8 teams in this qualifier were invited to the minor event in Anaheim, California this upcoming weekend, which I believe is February 11th to the 13th, or 10th or the 12th. It's within that range, literally during the Super Bowl. And we ended up losing 1-2 in the match before playing in the match to get the golden ticket. And it was definitely heartbreaking, and for many reasons. So leading into the Anaheim qualifier, and I'm talking about weeks before it, we still had the same team. It was myself, Blaze, Burton, and Fragout. We were playing, and at some point, some personal issues arose. People kind of started getting into the point fingers, and so people wanted a player off the team or swapped out to see if there was someone better that we could get. And I obviously, if you know me, I always want to keep the same people, and when it ends up changing, right, this is probably one of the things I'm more let down on myself for not being in super control when all this was happening, and not just, you know, standing my ground and being like, no guys, let's just keep working. We're in the storming stage of the team process. This happens to everyone. Like, stop freaking out. Let's keep developing. Let's norm out, and then everything will go into cruise control. And unfortunately, it did not go that way. So there was this opportunity that I saw of Enable competing once again, just for a test run, right? He said it himself. He just wants to see if he would want to compete. And so, knowing that Enable was part of the 3 championships that Status Quo does have, I saw an opportunity for an incredible content piece of us obviously making to Anaheim, if we did make it to Anaheim, and everything that we would be able to produce there with Enable. You know what I'm saying? He is part of 100 Thieves, so in my head, I was like, dude, not only is he a great player, you know, great communication. We all know the man has the gunny. He's always had the gunny. The dude is a freak of nature when it comes to FPS. So, I mean, the pros were, you know, the list goes on and on versus cons. And during such a thing, I actually wanted to create a 5-team roster, because I didn't want to get into the situation where it's like, well, Mike's the captain, he's always going to be on the team type of deal, right? I wanted all of us to play with Enable to see what everyone can learn from him. And then people just weren't cool with that, so unfortunately we ended up letting Blaze go. Blaze ended up doing his own thing, where he's now under a different esports organization, so I'm super happy for him. I was always in communication with him during the whole process, which was really cool, and we kept each other posted, because when this all happened, I was like, all right, Chris, like, I'm gonna figure out how you could be a content creator, and like, you're still underneath the umbrella of SQ, and like, I'm still supporting you the best that I can while competing and all that, because of all the stuff that is just kind of going sideways. Ultimately, right, he's still got a great thing, which is nice. He is with a group of people that he really enjoys playing with, so I'm super excited to continue seeing where he goes. Following that, we just kind of, for the next 2-3 weeks of playing with myself, Enable, Burton, and Fragout, kind of kept running into the same thing. We just felt like something wasn't clicking, something was missing, and there was still a lot of finger pointing. Burton and Fragout, if you guys watch my streams, like a lot of you guys did, and pointed out to me, we're really on top of each other, and pointing fingers, it seemed, and I don't know if it was because of who Enable was and who I was, that they were just like, shit, we can't yell at them, maybe, which is completely wrong, you know what I mean? In the sense, like, if you think you have a point that is more valid than what I'm saying or Enable's saying, then it's like, you should say it, you know what I mean, just so you say it. And so I don't know if that's what ever caused, like, just them being the ones who kind of went at it. But then again, moving forward, there became another issue of like, yo, do you think we should make the team change? I actually, like, it kind of almost felt better when you ran with Blaze versus Frag and all this stuff, and that started making me think again to be like, oh my god, like, these are the parts that I hate, because I don't want to think about this stuff. I don't want to think about anything negative of my teammate. I wanted to always focus on the positive moving forward. And so no team change was made until a week before, or literally like 4 or 3 days before the Anaheim qualifier, where we ended up picking up Roy for Fragout. We ended up making it to that last match, or the match before the last match, to get the golden ticket. We lost 1-2. I made a completely stupid play. Like, I keep rewatching this play because I don't understand what was going through my mind, because they had our flag pulled by Dino's car, what a lot of us like to call car, and I ended up trying to jump to top car, but ended up falling and shooting this dude like their courtyard. And I don't know why I didn't react to, obviously, Roy, who is also their Dinos, where he's returning our flag, why I'm not just like chilling in our car, like why I went to go fight versus just chill like by Dino so I could see top car shoot and all this stuff. So I keep watching this play and I'm just like, Mike, what were you doing? Like, the play is so simple, you just try to do so much right there. And so it sucked. But so moving forward, we didn't make it. We had Enable and Roy just for the Anaheim qualifier, just leading up to it. Roy is a dad, he's got the dad responsibilities, the husband responsibilities, work responsibilities. He's got so much on his plate that he will basically be only, gaming on the weekends. And type of guy Roy is, he's not going to commit to something if he can't give you the full commitment that he knows he could give, or used to give when he competed. So Roy, Enable, gone. Obviously Fragout was benched so we could pick up Roy. And then moving forward, wanted to keep Frag underneath the umbrella, but I think I'm going to let him do his own thing, only because it's a long time until the next event. And so I really want to develop on the people that I end up teaming with next. And this next group of people that I do end up teaming with, I really want to take my time, right? Like, I don't think I'm going to make a super fast decision, only because I want to find that quality of people wanting to stick together, wanting to fight it through the tough times, which there will be tough times. I mean, no matter who you are, when you are making a team, you will go through the honeymoon stage, the storming stage, the performing stage, and the norming stage. There are 4 stages, and you will literally go through these stages, and you have to be aware. And I think that's the most important thing, that when that happens, right, you have to be aware, like, oh shit, this is that moment. In order to norm out of the storm, you have to be aware that you're in the storm, so you could do what you have to do to navigate yourself out of the storm. And so yeah, so moving forward right now, status quo is myself for the Halo team. I will be looking for 3 more players. I've already started playing with a bunch of people trying to, you know, see the entire player pool now that the game's been out for the amount of time that it has been, now that there's been tournaments, now that there's been people playing, people that have points, people that have data on, you know, HaloDataHive.com. I think it's .com. But there's just a bunch of analytics everywhere that you could look at things, and obviously once you jump into the game with the people, communicating with them and making sure you have that rapport. So it's super, super important. I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely unfortunate that we didn't make Anaheim, but I think the next thing that now comes out of all this is going to be something amazing, right? And the ultimate goal, again, for the Halo team is finding that Halo team, that those 3 people that I could really work with, that, you know, whenever my time is over, that I think that that's it, Mike, I can't do it no more, as in competing. Then I give the reins off to these boys. They find that last person, and then it's smooth pickings from there. You already know. But there is a roster update for all those looking for that. Absolutely loved all the guys, man. Frag, what a beast, man. On a personal level, dude is super, super funny. On a game level, the dude's skill is stupid raw, man. Shock rifle sniper in that man's hands, he's deadly. That's not someone I would want to be on the opposing team if I ever match up with him in the future, where he has the sniper, it's 49-49. That's a situation I just don't want to get caught in. My man Burton, the dude is the homie. He got to learn a lot about him, a lot of personal stuff about him. Super excited to see what he ends up doing. Reason we released him yesterday, if you saw it on Twitter, was the conversation I had with him is that he thinks he wants to do something else, but he's also not even sure if he wants to compete anymore, I believe he's 26, 27, maybe even 28. You know, as you get older, you know, life starts kind of blowing up in a bigger perspective, and you start looking at it differently, because but you end up just having so many more responsibilities that life does get tough, and you have to figure things out. It's not where you're a kid and you have mom and dad to kind of back you up until a certain age, for those that are lucky to have mom and dad do that. But it does catch you by surprise sometimes if you are not ready. And then finally, my man Blaze. Boop. My man Blaze. Chris, absolutely demon. You know, he won his first tournament back in Halo Reach at Raleigh. Was really hoping that we could, you know, make a little run with the legend himself, the champ, man. But I'm super excited for him. He's over at Native Gaming now. He's teaming with his boys, Six Story, Elitus, and QB Snacks, and we even played them for one weekend, and they actually beat us 1-2. So super happy that he found a squad that is doing well, that he sees has room for improvement, and is just doing the whole thing now, gaming full time. So super excited for all 3 of them. Super excited to see where their futures go. But now it's on me. Time to find the status quo roster moving into the next HCS Open, which is February 20th. We do have Anaheim next weekend, which I will be hosting a watch party on my Twitch. So be sure to follow that. The link is also in the description below, but be on the lookout. Hope that answered a lot of questions, or was informative for you all on, you know, how Status Quo ended up becoming an esports org, what I'm looking to do with Status Quo as an esports org, and how our Halo rosters, all those situations that you all been seeing without me explaining, besides the little short video that I posted the day of the qualifier, that the roster was myself, Roy, Enable, and Burton. Hope this gave you that info that you were looking for, and if you have any other questions, definitely leave them down below. But I think that's going to do it for today. I have a couple of scrims set up with a couple of people to figure out who will be representing the Quo next. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below. But as always, this is your boy Flamesword. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.